Yes, welcome along to episode 19 of Upping the Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Gavin Lynch, counting down to the 2022 Cheltenham Festival. And the countdown, folks, is into the final one before the Cheltenham Festival kicks off. Gavin, we have made it. Somehow we've got here. How are you?
Ash, I'm good, Dave. Not long to go now, so.
No, not long now, Gavin.
No. Monday, did a mile and a half up in Leopardstown. Went easy enough and just quickened up the straight. You know, nice little bit of work. Get away from the yard. Wednesday did 2 big. Friday did 1 big, and now I'm all set.
just to tell viewers, that's Willie Mullen's language, so it is. And I actually asked Willie at his press day. I said, "What does it mean when you say to the riders in the mornings, 1 big, 2 big?" And I was ready to write down this big, dramatic answer. And he goes, "Oh, it's just 1 lap and a big gallop."
So that was 1 lap or 2 laps.
I was like, "Oh, Jesus!"
Yeah.
Wasn't even worth asking. So.
You're
in good shape, so.
Yeah, and I went cycling yesterday because in the next 7 days I'm going to get no exercise whatsoever. And it's amazing that, I went past 2 churches and blessed myself twice. And in the summertime I'd never blessed myself past a church. So it just shows we're all looking for any help we can get.
Divine inspiration. Yeah, exactly. You need every bit of help that you can get. And that's why me and Gavin are here today for the final Upping the Ante before the festival. So, of course, you know the drill by now. We're going to kick off with our questions from the crowd. And our first question this week comes in from Paul Fleming. And Paul says, apart from Allaho, so we're betting without Allaho here,
okay,
a defeat for which horse next week would surprise Gavin Lynch most?
People would say Shishkin, but I'm going to say Tiger Roll.
I was going to say Tiger Roll.
Well, sure, you're too late.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best horses in the last 10 years. I still think he's nearly underrated. I don't think it's the best cross country in the world. There is a bit of rain coming on Wednesday, but I think the course is going to be fine. It's good to soft the minute. I'd be surprised if he got beat. He's a class act.
And he's tipped by one of us at 13-2.
Exactly.
Yeah, hopefully.
We actually had an agreement that 2 of us were going to tip, but only you got in, so well done. Anyway, I haven't backed.
So it's a defeat for Tiger Roll would surprise you.
It would, and disappoint me in equal measure.
Absolutely. We need Tiger Roll. Tiger, if you're watching, we really need you.
On your last ever start.
Yeah.
Just one more.
And you're going to be there for the retirement party, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'll be cheering him in.
And I'll be there. So hopefully Tiger Roll will do the business. But I too would be very surprised if Tiger Roll was beaten next week. And our second question comes in from Anne King. And Anne wants to know our picks for leading trainer and leading jockey. Gavin, I'm going to go first because mine are extremely boring.
Yes.
I know it's going to be close between Willie and Gordon might be a bit of value, but I'm going to go for Willie Mullins and Paul Townend, Anne. Sorry.
Yeah, that was a tough one there, Dave.
It's like I've become you now.
Go for the obvious.
Go on. What's yours?
I think it's going to be very tight between Willie and Gordon, especially in the handicaps. Gordon has some brilliant horses running. Just Willie, 8, 7, 7, 6 sort of a job, but I could see them as 28 races. I think they'll win 14 between them. Roughly. And then top jockey, I think that like last year Rachel won it. I think she's 6. Yeah. So 6 is the number.
4,
5 or 6.
I think 4 has won it 8 times in the last 12 or 13 years.
So you maybe need, say 5. I'm going to go for Davy Russell at 6-1.
Okay.
So I just wrote down the ones because I'm getting too old to remember them all.
Yeah, go on.
He's only got 1 ride on Tuesday, which is crazy. Like, what are trainers dreaming about?
Yeah, but then would you be better backing him after Tuesday?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Especially
See
Paul
the way I look after
Yeah,
you.
well done, yeah. In running.
Yeah, in running back, David. Go on.
Wednesday. Now, he mightn't ride all of these, but 3-stripe life, each way chance. Saint Felician, will Puppy ride him or will Davy ride him? I don't know. Tiger Roll, obviously, he'll win. Buddy Rich, bit of a bridle horse.
Chance, yeah.
Yeah, he'll come there on the outside 2 out and you'll be getting excited. But will he win and stay the 2 mile that Davy is worried about? Thursday, maybe Tully Begg or Falcano in the Pertemps. Conflated in the Ryanair, he probably won't win. Party Central has a chance even though she has the £5 penalty. And on Friday, Pied Piper, I presume, ahead of Phil Dore. Top Bandit has a cracking chance in the county. Travelly Thing, one that you normally like. For people that back Top Bandit, they'll be hoping that Stateman, who's all the talk, that he goes maybe for the pipe. Okay. Galvin, massive chance of the Gold Cup. And I'd say he'll probably ride Mount Ida instead of Jack. So I just think he's got a good chance at 6-1. Davy Russell.
Yeah, I think Townend will be, but Jack Kennedy is definitely value at around 10s because Jack is going to have so many rides. Do you know what I mean? Riviere de Tel, he's likely to be riding that. The likes of Ginto, he's got... I think on Wednesday I worked out that between Tuesday and Wednesday he's going to have probably the guts of 12 rides.
Okay.
Which is, if you're riding in race, you've got a chance. The tie turns is a big chance. You know, I just think he's going to have a lot of rides. He's got even Zana here, I think he'll run well in the Champion. He's got a lot of rides. And at 10 to 1, you're going to get plenty of value for money.
I think what might be even a better idea is to back Davy Russell Wednesday morning, Dave.
After Tuesday, because he's only got one right on Tuesday. You're learning. So it's a Davy Russell for Gavin and just about Willie Mullins.
Just.
And
short
I think
head.
Jack Kennedy is a bit of value for me, but it is Willie and Paul, the likely duo. And our third and final question this week comes in from Kevin Leddy. And Kevin is getting value for money here, Gavin.
Okay.
Kevin is looking for a lucky 15 from both of us.
All right.
So these are our four strongest fancies of the week.
I think Ginto is a brilliant price at the moment. He's 5 to 2 and 11 to 4 in a place. So I definitely have to have him in there.
5 to 2. What price do you think he'll go off?
I think he'll go off 7 to 4.
Wow. Okay.
Ginto, yeah. Ginto will win.
In rehearsals, Gavin said to me he'll go off 11 to 8. You chicken out of it. You chicken out of it. You said he's going to go off about 11 to 8. And I said, what?
Nah, 7 to 4.
7 to 4. Okay.
Ellie May at 2 to 1.
Great price.
As we said, I'd be very worried about Mount Ida, but I think she might jump to her right. We'll see.
Okay.
Stateman at 4 to 1 for the county of the pipe. I hope he goes to the pipe because I've backed Top Bandit for the county, but I'd be very worried about Stateman. And Tiger Roll at 6 to 4. So I think that's
the Gavin Lynch lucky 15.
Yeah, they're 5 to 2, 2 to 1, 4 to 1, and 6 to 4. That's okay.
Okay.
And you?
I'm going to start off with 2 on Tuesday. The tide turns in the Boodles 6 to 1
to beat the hot pot.
Yeah, just big fields, trip, just taking on Gaelic Warrior, just pretending he's not in the race.
Okay.
And if he was in the race, 6 to 1 would be a great price about the tide turns. The tide turns in the Boodles. Statler is now my banker of the week with the news that Manila Crooner is out. Statler is everybody's taking him on apart from me, it seems. So I think Statler is a different class to those. Only 7 runners in the National Hunt Chase. So the tide turns, Statler, Time Hill in the Stairs Hurdle.
Okay. There's a bit of money for him the last few days, yeah.
Yeah, Time Hill in the Stairs Hurdle and a high senior in the Brown Advisory. That is my lucky 15, Gavin. All decent, in around 5 to 1 apart from Statler, 5 or 6 to 1. Decent prices.
And the good thing is if you back one winner, you might get
treble the odds.
Something like that.
You're only giving me one, are you?
Double the odds.
I'd be delighted if one of them just won. Treble the odds for one winner in my lucky 15. Hopefully, we kick off with the tide turns in the Boodles on Tuesday. So Upping the Ante viewers, after all the humming and hawing and not going who goes where, we finally got the day one declarations. 10 o'clock this morning. Gavin, it was refresh, wasn't it?
It was.
But we've got there, so we're going to have a day one preview for you right here, right now, and we're going to kick off at 1:30 on Tuesday. It is the Sky Bet Supreme Novices Hurdle, and Willie Mullins has decided to go with a 3-pronged attack, Gavin.
Yeah.
He's gone with Dysart Dynamo, not Sir Gerhard. He's gone with Kilcrut, the Mount of Patrick Mullins, and Bring on the Night, who is ridden by Brian Cooper, and we've also got Mighty Potter for Gordon. So it's 4 for Ireland.
Yes.
And obviously John Bonn and Constitution Hill for Nicky Henderson. Good decision by Willie to rely basically on Dysart Dynamo.
It was probably a hard decision for him. I suppose the fact that Dysart won the Moscow Flyer over 2 miles, so Gerhard won a point to point. I'd say the main reason is that Dysart Dynamo is just keen. So he's all speed. A couple of things to point out. I like him. He's the horse I think will probably win the race. He has the most ability. But beforehand, he's a bit like John Bonn. He can be a bit giddy, a bit excitable. So how he copes with the crowd running the parade ring, down the chute, down in front of the stands, you have to watch that. If you're there at Cheltenham, keep an eye out.
And after 2 years not being there, the crowd are going to cheer these horses on the way down to the start.
Yeah, there's going to be a crazy atmosphere, particularly for the first race. Yeah. There'll be more than one roar, I'd say, before the first. So if Dysart Dynamo behaves himself before the race, it's very important. Also in the first half a mile, you just can't be a tearaway keen horse and win a Supreme. It doesn't really happen. You can be a little bit keen, like Classical Dream, but you can't be too much. One thing to point out as well is his 4 wins at Clonmel, Punchestown, Cork and Punchestown again have all been right-handed. He's never gone left-handed. So just keep that in mind. Constitution Hill is the same. Now, he did win a point-to-point in Tipperary.
Where do you stand?
His 2 wins are in Sandown.
Where do you stand with Constitution Hill? Like, what do you think he is? Like, this time next year, is he going to be one of the best horses in training?
Yeah, I think if he's going to win the Supreme, he'll have to be nearly as good as Shishkin because he's only had the 2 runs. He's only a 5-year-old. He's not getting any weight for that against the 6-year-olds. The 2 races he has won, a little bit, I suppose, like Dysart, but at least he won 2 bumpers.
Didn't win a grade 1, though.
No, but Willie has used the Moscow Flyer numerous times before, so that wouldn't worry me too much. I just think inexperience could beat Constitution Hill.
Really?
But I think he's a super horse, yeah.
He's like inexperienced, but he's so relaxed.
Yeah.
And he does everything so well. He's the model student, really.
The fact that he's so sleepy and sleeps in the stable and to wake him up and stuff, that's great because, then you think that beforehand, even though he's inexperienced, he's going to cope with the occasion. I definitely wouldn't give up on Kilcrush because he's got the most experience. He was second in the bumper last year, a little bit unlucky. The tactics in the race, the Paul Nichols horse is going to be up there. Dysart Dynamo will be up there. Patrick rides Kilcrush. I'd imagine Patrick would love to sit second. And if he's good enough to challenge at the bend, that's where he'll come. John Bon is probably the best jumper in the race. His first 2 races were a farce because they were literally 1.5 mile hurdles. The last day in Haydock, he learned to quicken, and then he had to quicken a second time, so he learned how to race. I definitely wouldn't give up on Mighty Potter. The vibes seem to be strong on him, that he's supposed to have worked very well the other day in Leopardstown. The faster they go, the more it'll suit him, because in time he'll have no problem with 2.5 miles. So a really good Supreme. I would be making my decision with Dysart when he's down to the start and he's behaved himself.
But you'll be in the middle of the crowd.
Yeah, but I'll be trying to keep an eye on him.
Okay.
I'll follow him around.
Okay. I think the vibes coming from Seven Barrows are very strong about Constitution.
Okay.
Jerry McGrath was on RP Live on Saturday. Great show from the Racing Post, and I just thought there was a twinkle in his eye talking about Constitution Hill. I love him. I love him.
He could be anything, sure. He's bolted up the 2 times, the twice in Sandown. This is a step up in terms of pace in the race and the occasion and stuff like that, but he's nice and relaxed up. We'll see.
Yeah. I think he's a freak.
It's going to be a great race.
I'm willing to take a chance that Constitution Hill is a freak, and I think he's going to get Nicky Henderson off to a winning start. So Constitution Hill for me, and Dysart Dynamo for Gavin Lynch in the Sky Bet Supreme, 1:30 on Tuesday. Moving on to the Sporting Life Arkle, it's at 2:10 on Tuesday, and I'm an Edward Stone fan, Gavin. I think he's been there, he's done it. I know he's not your ideal type for the Arkle, but this season, his jumping is slick. He's battle hardened now, and I'm not sure. There's a strong Irish challenge in numbers, but I'm not sure in quality how good it is. I know there's a few unknown quantities like Hot on Colours and St. Sam in there, but to me, Edward Stone is the real solid one. You know what you're going to get. He's going to jump well, he's going to travel. I think the fence at Cheltenham will suit him. He comes away from them quick. I think he'll be fine. I think Edward Stone will win. Yeah,
he's got a great chance. It's not the best Arkle that I've ever seen.
Intriguing though.
Yeah, it is, and it's a very open race. Appreciate it didn't make it. Fernie Hollow didn't make it. Both of those would have been odds on. Edward Stone, he's won his last 4. The stats are against him in terms of being an 8-year-old, but that's not his fault. He's been very good. There's 8 hurdles in the Supreme. There's 13 fences in the Arkle. They're going to go a mental gallop in this race. They'll go faster in this race, I'd say, nearly than the Champion Chase. Yeah. Because you've got front runners in it like Riviere de Tel, St. Sam will be up there. Magic Days will lead. You also have Gabinaco, who's been supplemented. So they're going to go a mental gallop. I just pray, firstly, I think that Edward Stone's going to drift. He's almost at 3-1 in the exchanges. I could see him being 3-1, 7-2.
Great price if he does.
And yeah, I think 9-4 is too short. If he goes 3-1, 7-2, I'll definitely back him. And the thing I love about him is his jumping. He is the best jumper in the race, right? I just pray that Tom Cannon doesn't get ants in the pants and starts challenging at the third last.
Borrow the ants from Harry, is it?
Just don't. Just Tom, please. Okay. Just wait and wait and wait.
Breathe.
Just don't challenge the third last like he has done the last couple of races. Just wait till they turn in. It's going to be a long battle up that hill. So just Edward Stone, best jumper in the race, yeah.
So you think he'll win?
I do.
Oh, me and Gavin are agreeing on the second race at Cheltenham Festival. Fantastic. Moving on to the 250. This is the Ultima Handicap Chase. Wide open. If you find the winner this on Tuesday, it's setting the tone for the week, Gavin. What have you come down on?
If you can find the winner of this race, you deserve a medal. Your horse, Does He Know, has to have a big chance. Was only given, £5 for winning so easy in Ascot. The thing that's definitely going to suit you is that Frodon has kept the weights down. I think your horse only carries 11 stone. I was going through the pace in the race, which I think punters should do as best they can for every race of the week. And I think Frodon, not saying she get a solo, but I think it's going to lead. For Briney. Your horse has to have a chance. Noble Yates has to have a chance, but probably needs softer ground. Needs to jump quite well. Jumped better in Weatherby, so he'd have a chance. I think Fleur has a good chance.
Jordan Camford.
Yeah, as well as Noble Yates. Ran a cracker the last day over an extended trip and punched him. Made a bad mistake at the last. Good form before that in Fairyhouse and Leopardstown. So Jordan Gainford taking a claim off. I think maybe Fleur could be the one.
Okay, interesting. Now I tipped Does He Know earlier on in this show, and you can't let your previous Ante-Post tips cloud your judgment now. Okay.
No.
So my fresh view on it is that Oscar Elite is way too big of a price.
Okay.
Like he's 20-1 Bet365. Harry Cobden takes over. He's got 10 stone, and
he'll think he's loose.
He was second in the Alba Party last year. He has been disappointing. But if you go back to the Dipper on New Year's Day, turning in, he got into the race And then Long Press went away from him again. Long Press is a good horse. I know you're a big fan of him. And to me, Oscar Lead is he's just building up gradually. He has been disappointing, and he's been a weak finisher this season, which is a little bit worrying for a race like this. But like the likes of Does He Know will have to give him the guts of £20.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he's a £20 inferior
and also
horse.
Corrick Rambler's in it that was chased over.
Corrick Rambler's got a big chance as well. So at the prices, and given the weight that a talented horse like Oscar Lead is going to carry, I'm going to go for Oscar Lead.
Give you two more. Full back.
Two more.
Oh, just to mention.
Full back.
Full back down to the bottom of the weights. Ran very well the last time. Won previously at Cheltenham. And a horse that I think we were asked a couple of months ago to give a 50-1 shot for Cheltenham. Ben Dundee was 50s at the time. He's 16s now.
Will he stay?
Well, yeah, he was second in the Paddy Power Christmas, so he'd have a chance.
Danny Mullins booked the right, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so
what a story that
a very, very open race. I'd say if I had to pick one.
Do you know your neighbour, Andy Lynch? Lovely fella. Drinks in the pub down the road, Foxes.
He used to be in Old Meads, wasn't he?
Oh, lovely fella, yeah. Do you remember Zabana?
Yeah.
Very, very quickly, for the Racing Post, I was assigned this task for a day to follow Andy Lynch, who had a fancied horse in what the Turners it was a JLT at the time, follow him for the race, do a story on it, Andy Lynch with her, so went up to the stands, went into Pradering with him and Chris Jones for the race, we're up in the stands, getting ready, and I'm how are you feeling now, Andy? Oh yeah, I'm a bit nervous, but looking forward to it, fingers crossed it'll go well. He unshipped Davy Russell at the start. And I'm standing beside him.
Didn't even get to race.
Didn't even get to run. And I just said, right, I'll have to scrap the piece. So I'm a jinx, Gavin.
That Davy Russell fella, he's not that good, is he?
I'm a jinx. Manila Crooner's gone, Sporting Jock, I'm a jinx. But anyway, that was my story with Andy Lynch. But I am an Oscar Lead fan, and you are a Fluair fan.
Yeah, Fluair maybe, yeah, but very open race, tough race.
The 3:30 on day one is the feature race. It is the Unibet Champion Hurdle, and it sees Honeysuckle against Appreciated. Gavin, will she do it?
I think she will. Brilliant last year. People are crabbing the last day, and rightly so. Her last furlong wasn't that strong the last day in the Irish Champion Hurdle. The pace in the race is a little bit of a worry for me. I'm not sure where the pace is going to come from. Maybe Tiupu, it could be Honeysuckle. I don't know, to be honest.
You just don't know.
Maybe Appreciated. It'll be interesting to see anyway. Appreciated. There's very strong vibes from the Mullins camp. If people want to back that each way, they can at 4-1. But very difficult to give the mare £7. She's 14 from 14. She's one of the greatest mares of all time. So I'll be there, and I pray she wins. And I haven't really backed her, but I'll still.
Have you got her in a few multiples?
Ages ago, yeah, a couple of bits, but nothing major.
Okay.
And I think Tiupu will be third. And as I said the other day, for the first time in 20 years, I'm going to do a tricast.
Tricast. Wow.
I wouldn't even know how to do it.
So, well, I'll let you know. So it is Honeysuckle to beat Appreciated to beat Tiupu.
And you?
1, 2, 3. I think Honeysuckle will win. I think with Appreciated, is it not a case of he'll either win or blow out, no?
I wouldn't think so.
No? Okay.
He was brilliant last year in the Supreme. Willie Mullins,
That's nonsense.
I know, but we can't doubt the man. What is it, 365 days and 1 hour or whatever it is?
Yeah.
You can't doubt the man, Willie. He's done it before with Quevega. I think totally the right decision not to run in Gorham Park, considering how impressive Tiupu was.
Yeah.
Even if Appreciated would have won that day in the Red Mills, it would have had a hard race. So totally the right decision.
Okay. The one that I think Honeysuckle will win. The one that I think is overpriced is Zana here. Cheek pieces on, a strong test. Hopefully, like it's a champion hurdle. They're not going
maybe
to go
Zana here will make the running.
Will the flat choke not make the run? Oh, not so sleepy. So sleepy. If Not So Sleepy gets a good start, Not So Sleepy will make the run in. And if he bombs out and makes the run in and hopefully gets a good start, I think that'll suit Zana here. I think he's one of the strongest stayers in the race. Talent-wise, he doesn't have as much ability as Appreciated or Honeysuckle, but he's the one that's going to be really staying on up the hill. I think he'll finish in the first three, I really do. I think he's a cracking bet each way at 20-1. Zana here.
I was a bit disappointed with it last year in the Triumph.
That's 12 months ago,
I know,
Gavin.
I'm just saying at the track. But anyway.
Yeah, 12 months ago. Think of how much we've improved in 12 months. Maybe not. But that is the champion hurdle. Moving on to the 410. It is the final grade one of the day. It is the Close Brothers Mares Hurdle. And Gavin, I can't make head nor tail of this.
This is very tricky. The fact that Western Victory is in it means that more pace in the race, as if you didn't need any more. You've got Stormy Ireland. You also have Heaven Help Us. So there's going to be massive pace in the race.
I don't fancy Stormy Ireland.
Because she's going to be taken on?
Yeah,
she's the highest rated mare in the field, I think, at 150.
I know, yeah, but I thought she would have been beaten a couple of lengths by Brewing Up a Storm. She ran in the best mare's hurdle of all time, fair enough, against Honeysuckle and Many to Do. But she was legless up the straight that day.
I think when they come to just before the turn in, the two horses that'll be absolutely tanking will be Tell Me Something Girl, who will stay, and Echoes and Rain, who I think may not stay. So for those people who bet and running, I'd be laying Echoes and Rain turning in at 2 or 3 to 1. I think, I thought she'd go for the county hurdle. She's going here over 2.5 the first time. She has been quite keen in her races. Patrick Ryder,
Patrick will sit last, won't he?
Yeah, he'll ride it like an on-trier and come late. But I like, I can't see one of those mares getting a sole at the front. And if so, tell me something, girl. Hopefully you make it 2 in a row for Rachel. Yeah,
I have Burning Victory at 33 to 1 from earlier on in the show. But, you know, Sean O'Keefe is riding now and she's going to drift. If she jumps well early, she has got a chance. But
she's a great engine.
Yeah.
And she definitely won't contest the lead. She'll sit 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
But just her jumping just needs to be good.
Yeah, I know the Elliot Camp are very sweet on Queensbrook.
Great chance.
At the prices, at a double figure price, I think Echoes and Rain is too big. I'm going to take a chance that she's going to stay. Yeah, I'm going to take a chance. Patrick Ryder cold, like he did with Wicklow Brave all those years ago when he nearly won the Coral Cup. So it is a tentative, very, very tentative vote for Echoes and Rain. For me, moving on to the second last race in the card, the Boodles Juvenile Handicap Hurdle, and thanks be the Lord, I really fancy one here. It's a tie turns. As I said already, I'm just betting without Gaelic Warrior, without Gaelic Warrior. I'm just going to pretend he's not in the race because who knows how well handicapped he is. 129. By the sounds of things, he's at least a stone well in. But it's okay being a stone well in. It's a maximum field.
Yep.
It's a trip that's definitely the minimum of what he wants, I think. It's the hustle and bustle. It's not running in a while. I think there are 4 or 5 things that you can take into consideration and say, okay, let's just forget about him for a minute. He might win. I'll let him win. The tie turns, has ran in a graded race, shaped like the second best horse in the race against Tiupu. He has that grade 1 form from the previous time. He beat HMS Seahorse in a maiden hurdle at Punchestown convincingly. To me, he's got the ideal profile of the race. He's ran the 3 times. He's very similar to Gordon Elliott's past winners of the race. He's got the right profile. 6 to 1 is a big price. The tie turns, I think, is going to win the Boodles Handicap Hurdle.
I think Gordon says, and said on the preview night that you were at, that that's definitely his best horse in the race, I think he said, did he? I'm going to go for Gaelic Warrior each way, Dave, at a big price. I'm joking. The price here
is... You can't go each way, though.
I'm only
joking. You're joking?
I am. 9 to 4 in a 25 runner, roughly 25.
Are you going to tip Gaelic Warrior?
No, I'm not. I'm just...
Okay.
I think the price is crazy. I think that it definitely, in a year's time we'll say that it has a stone in hand, but you can't be backing a horse like this at 9 to 4. There's a lot of big betting companies out there. I'd imagine they'll be...
taking him on.
Yeah, definitely. I think he'll...
What price will he go off?
I don't know. It depends on, say, if Willie has a couple of winners.
Results, yeah.
But I'd say he'll definitely touch 3 to 1 on the machine at some stage. He has to. And if you're going to back him, I think he'll be bigger than that in running, like with so many in the race. What's going to win it, Dave? I think it's very difficult. Dr. Brown Bears an each way chance. The tie turns. You've got Brazil. You've Champion Green. You've Britska.
Are you just reading out the field at the minute now?
I think it's a race to watch.
If I twist your arm just for selections for our VT here, what are you going to go for?
I'm very surprised that Brazil is running because all along they said that he wasn't going to, so I wasn't even including him in my calculations. Yeah, he does. Ahead of Champion Green, so I'd say Brazil.
Brazil for Gavin in the Boodles Juvenile Handicap Hurdle, and of course it is the tie turns for me. And the final race on the card is the National Hunt Chase. And Gavin, this is now my banker of the 2022 Cheltenham Festival.
You haven't even tipped it up and Upping the Ante.
I haven't tipped it up, but sure, he's never a big price. Do you know what I mean? No. He was never any more than 7 to 2 throughout the whole year. All the Shrewdies, yourself, Gary O'Brien, Tom Siegel, Paul Keeley, all the Shrewdies are telling me that Statler cannot win the National Hunt Chase.
Well, there's no evidence he'll stay, is the only thing. Like last year, he didn't come up the hill in the Bartlett.
No, but Gavin,
I'm just saying why.
A lot can happen in a year, Gavin.
Yeah,
think of how bad we were a year ago. Yeah. With Statler, to me, if this race was a 3-mile novice chase at Leopardstown or Navan or Naas, he'd be 5 to 4, 11 to 10 in my opinion.
That's
okay,
right. Yeah.
He's beaten Farouk Delaine, showing the type of attitude that he's never shown before. He actually had to fight, and he came out on top. Willie Mullins has always had this race as his ultimate target all year for Ronnie Bartlett, who of course won the race last year with Galvin. There's only 7 runners. I think Patrick will be able to get a lovely spot, maybe sitting 3rd or 4th. And I think he's the classiest horse in the race. The racing suggests otherwise because Run Wild Fred is there. And Run Wild Fred has won a handicap and he's performed really well in grade 1s. But
he's only 1 from 10. Look, you can find holes with every horse in this race.
Statler is going to travel best and I think he'll stay. I do think he'll stay.
We all thought Carefully Selected would stay too and he didn't. And I backed him.
But is that why Statler's not 6 to 4? Because we're thinking of Carefully Selected, no?
I don't know.
Well, what do you like anyway?
I think the pace in the race is going to come from Run Wild Fred and Vanillier.
Yeah,
Vanillier's jumping has been poor. He obviously won the Bartlett Easy last year when Statler was 4th. Run Wild Fred jumps very well, except the last day in Leopardstown he made one horrendous mistake down the back straight. I'm going to go for one at a price here on the ropes at 10-1. Tom Hamilton rides. His jumping in the Munster National was super, and his 3 runs since then his jumping wasn't. So I'm taking a chance that he gets into a rhythm. They're not going to go in mental gallop. If he can get his confidence with the jumping, he'd definitely stay. He stayed on very well in the Thyestes, that's working out quite well, off 151. He's good enough. If his jumping holds up, he has a chance.
On the ropes. On the ropes. And Statler is my nap of the week. Best bet on day 1 of the Cheltenham Festival is?
Oh, Dave. I'll go for Edward Stone.
Edward Stone.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that, as Jamie Lawson would say. And mine is Statler, but I have 2 big bullets firing in the last 2 races to Tie Turns and Statler. Hoping to finish the card strong, Gavin.
Good.
That was your day 1 preview of the 2022 Cheltenham Festival. It's Upping the Stakes time here on Upping the Ante, where we get to raise some, well, try to, I should say. I was going to say we get to raise some money. We try to raise some funds for Cancer Trials Ireland. We're doing okay, Gavin, throughout the series. We're in profit. We're both in profit.
We are.
But it's the big one this week, okay? It's the big one. We've got 100 quid, not 50. We've got 100 quid to spend from Bet365. What is your Upping the Stakes selection?
100 quid win, Ginto, 5-2, the Albert Bartlett, Friday. Is it the second race, Dave?
It is second. No, it's the third race. It's the 250. The County Hurdle is the second race.
There you go.
250 Friday.
Ginto.
I
think it's a good price.
Okay, and I'm putting my 100 quid and hoping to make 700 quid out of that 100 quid on the Tie Turns in the Boodles. It is the 450 at Cheltenham on Tuesday. So, folks, it is our final selection for the 2022 Cheltenham Festival. It is Ante-Post picks time. And Gavin, I'm going to go first.
Go ahead.
That's okay.
Yep.
My final selection, now that poor old Sporting John is gone from the Pertemps final, and Paul Keeley is going to think I'm copying him here because he's been rabbiting on about this horse for the last, I'd say, 6, 8, 12 weeks.
Okay.
It's his nap at the Cheltenham Festival, but I really like him too. It's Alaphilippe in the Pertemps final. 10-1 still available with Bet365. I think he could go off half those odds. I think this horse off a mark of 138 is really well handicapped. He's going to carry 10 stone 8. Paddy Brennan is going to be calm and collected, hopefully, and come late on Alaphilippe, who ran in that infamous qualifier for the Pertemps final in Warwick, where he raced kind of wide, travelled really well.
Wasn't knocked about?
No, wasn't.
Same as Hard
potentially, I don't know, Gavin. Maybe they had the final in mind at the time.
But the only thing is, well, he had to be pushed out because he had to finish in the top 6 out of 7 that day.
Yeah, and one of the horses was pulled up.
Yeah.
Riggs was pulled up. So, I don't know, Gavin. Maybe they had the final in mind for Alaphilippe on the day. I thought he ran a cracker in the Albert Bartlett last year. Made a few early mistakes there. Hopefully his jumping will have come on in the last year. A lot has happened in the last year, Gavin. So maybe it's come on. I think Alaphilippe at 10-1. Fergal O'Brien is chasing his first Cheltenham Festival winner. I think he's going to get it this week, be it with Imperial Alcazar or Alaphilippe. I think Alaphilippe has got a massive chance. And he's 10-1 Bet365 for the Pertemps final. My final pick after a disastrous week, Gavin. Manila Crooner, gone. Sporting John, gone. Might I, gone. Highway Jewel, gone. Shall we have one more running in the Supreme instead of the County? It's been a tale of woe the last 7 days, Gavin.
Yeah, look, sure. I'd say there's
you can cry on my shoulder and I'll cry on yours.
Yeah.
So, what's your final selection?
Final selection, my first selection of the year, I think, was in the Brown Advisory. And this is also in the Brown Advisory because my selection looks like going for the Turner. So
you deserve, I nearly give you the
points
for that, for Gallop in the Shops, because it's a brilliant pick.
So I'm going to go for Long Press at 4-1 in the Brown Advisory. I think 4-1 is very fair. I think tomorrow, if, as expected, Gallopin goes to the Turners, this lad won't be 4-1, I'd say he'd be 3-1. He's 4 out of 4 the last 4 times. A couple of times going right-handed Ascot and Sandown. He's better going left-handed. We saw on New Year's Day in the Dipper, beat Glancing Queen, giving her £7 by 10 lengths. I think he'll definitely stay. I think a High Senor is huge class, but he's still a little bit kind of left and right, and he's still a bit immature. Brave Man's Game, we don't know about the hill. Capadano, I'd give a big chance to, but I'm going for Long Press.
Okay.
That's it.
That's you're going to give a negative for Capadano. Big chance, but I'm going for Long Press.
Yeah.
So Long Press 4-1?
Yep.
Long Press at 4-1 is Gavin Lynch's final selection for the Cheltenham Festival. So before we let you go, we're going to have a scroll through our Ante-Post list so far. I wish we did this properly last week, Gavin. Mine was looking much better last week, but if we scroll through mine here, my 3 main chances of beating you are my 3 to 1 shots. Capron in the Coral Cup.
Good chance, yeah.
Big chance. Burning Victory in the Mayor's Hurdle.
Good chance, yeah, if she jumps well, yeah.
Chance. And Time White in the Grand Annual, who Paul Lickel seems to be very keen on. Harry Cobden seems to be very keen on. And I'm quite keen on him as well. I think he's got a cracking chance.
I think Capron might be the best of those 3, would he?
I think so. Yeah, Capron, I think.
And then you've got Tiger Roll, who'll win.
Tiger Roll 13 to 2, yeah. A High Senior, I think, has a big chance as well. Obviously, I think he could go well. Unfortunately, Manila Crooner bit the dust last week. But I just want one. I take one of them 33 to 1 shots, Gavin. You've got some real solid ones that, American Mike, Ginto. Ginto is a great price now.
Yeah, 6 to 1 I think at the time, and Ellie May, I'd be very hopeful that she might win. She was 8 to 1. A couple of big priced ones that are still there. Few horses that had good chances got moved around to different races, but that's Ante-Post betting for you.
Yeah, the Fernie Hollow, Galloping the Champs, them kind of ones are sick.
Yeah, and even Sir Gerhard and Dysart Dynamo and stuff. So anyway, could be worse, Dave.
It could be worse. Well, Gavin, the very best of luck.
Thank you.
May the best man win.
Please God.
So that is it, folks. That is the final Up in the Ante before the 2022 Cheltenham Festival. We've been here with you for 19 weeks. Fair play to you for still watching. I think if I was an Up in the Ante viewer, I think I'd have given up on us by now, Gavin. But thank you so much for staying tuned and for all the nice comments throughout the series. It really gives us a lift, doesn't it, Gavin, when our horses are ruled out.
Yeah.
Any pearls of wisdom for viewers going into the festival?
I think what was interesting the other day when we done the Up in the Ante with Gary O'Brien and Pat Cooney from Bet365, 2 lovely fellas. Pat mentioned about that, Thursday and Friday are good bookie days. So I said it to him, because I always had that impression. I said to him, do you feel that Tuesday and Wednesday are the best days for punters? He said, definitely. But he said, by the time Friday comes, we get it all back. He said, so just don't go too mad later on in the week. If you're going to the pub on Friday, don't start upping your bets. Keep it at a nice level. If you win a few quid after Tuesday or Wednesday, don't give it back.
Don't up the ante.
Don't up the ante.
Don't up the ante if you're winning on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Exactly.
Keep it in your pocket. And
enjoy the week.
As we always say here on Up in the Ante, if you are having a bet at the Cheltenham Festival, do not get carried away. Enjoy it. Gamble responsibly. Only bet what you can afford to lose. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, and another thing as well, you don't have to bet in every race. Like,
no.
if Galloping the Champ is even money and Bob is even money, sure, just watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah, but you could back Bob and double your money. You could, couldn't you? But no, I see your point. Absolutely. Gamble responsibly.
Enjoy the week.
Yeah, do bet safely. You're looking forward to it?
Yeah, I can't wait. Going over Monday morning at 10:30. So yeah, I'll come back Wednesday night. Should be good.
Yeah, hopefully in one piece. Anne-Marie collecting you from the airport?
No, I'll get a taxi home.
A spare bed.
Yeah.
The cold shoulder.
It'll be a brilliant week, and the crowds will be just huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Well, listen, we've enjoyed each and every one of the 19 weeks we've shared with you. Hopefully there's a few winners along the way. We'll be back on Tuesday week, the Tuesday after the Cheltenham Festival, for a long and painful post-mortem on all our tips. Hopefully there's a few winners in there.
But the good thing about the moment, like, it's we're before the festival, we've all backed 28 winners. Every owner thinks they're going to win, so we're full of promise.
That's why I love the Monday night.
Yeah.
It's all full of hope. So listen, thanks for watching again. I've been David Jennings. He's been Gavin Lynch. We have enjoyed the last 19 weeks immensely. Enjoy next week at the Cheltenham Festival. Thanks for watching.